Hi there guys, I hope you're well. It is a heat wave currently in the UK. It is so hot. I can't believe I brought myself to do a YouTube video today. Of course I need to keep myself cool, so I've closed the curtains and I'm gonna have this fan on me for the duration. I hope my hair flopping around isn't too distracting and there will be a buzz of the fan with us throughout. Apologies about my absence on YouTube. Okay, I do admit I have been over promising and under delivering on this channel. I keep saying like I'm aiming to do one video a week or possibly even two, I think I've said before, and I've just not been delivering on that. I guess when you're just trying to build an empire, when you're trying to build Rome just doesn't get built in a day. Of course I do have so much going on as well as my YouTube channel. I am a full-time dominatrix and of course I run my course and community which actually has over 100 girls. The beginning of this month we hit 100 students, which is amazing. So I thought I'd come back to YouTube and do a part 2 to my most viewed video thus far. So of course today we're doing a part 2 of crazy things I've been paid to do. So I've got less than last time here. I think I've got about 9 or 10. And you know my style, let's just jump straight into it. So my first one, this guy has actually come around 2 or 3 times now and he always seems to pop up when I do my lives. The first time he came about, he very specifically wanted me in a pair of gloves. Now I got the wrong idea to begin with and I actually got a pair of pink marigolds out and he was like, no, like not really my thing. So I used to be a hairdresser for 11 years and I pulled out a pair of my black latex, or is it nitrile, gloves that I used to use for hairdressing, and as soon as I pulled them out he was like, oh my god, yes, this is the thing. So I'm just like, oh my god, okay. But he didn't just want me in these gloves, he also wanted me to pair it with a black puffer coat. I don't have a black puffer coat, so I actually wore a black puffer body warmer. And yeah, when I put this body warmer on and these gloves, he was like, oh my god, like this is so hot, you look amazing. So I'm just like, okay. I honestly felt like I was a criminal about to go and rob somewhere. I don't know, maybe that's his thing, the robber burglar look. I don't know. But anyway, once I was wearing these, he didn't want me to do anything specific with them. I literally just sat there like I'm sat in front of you today and I just carried on the life, but just wearing this black puffer body warmer and wearing black gloves. And that's all I had to do. I only charged like $40 for this. What I tend to do is when people ask for things on my live, I tend to make it a bit cheaper because I'm already on the live, I'm already there, I'm already ready. So it's not a ton of effort for me. But if say I wasn't on the live, I would have to like get ready to fulfill a custom. So if that's a circumstance, then yeah, anything 5 minutes and up would have to be a minimum of like $200, like absolute minimum. So yeah, that's the first one. Oh yeah, and then he actually came around a couple of times after, but I don't know, I think he wasn't into the puffer jacket thing anymore, or maybe he just knew I didn't have one. So the second and third time that he jumped onto my live, he just wanted me in the black gloves. So again, gloves on, sitting there talking. Can't complain. Getting paid like $40 just to put on a pair of gloves. Okay, so my next one. This is a custom I actually did very recently and I'll insert a clip here. It was a 3-minute video and I can't remember how much he actually paid me for this custom. I'll just try and find it. $450, okay? And it was a 3-minute custom and he just wanted me tapping expensive things that I own with my nails. And it made me realize I actually have like that many expensive things. Yes, I do make good money, but I live like way below my means. I am quite, I am financially literate. Everything I earn, I don't just spend on designer crap that I'm not gonna get a return on. Anyway, that's another YouTube video. He just basically wanted me to tap any expensive things that I had. So my jewelry, my handbags, I had a little belt on that I was tapping away. And yeah, $450 for a 3-minute video just of me tapping items that I own that look expensive or are expensive. So of course that was a nice, fun, easy one. Okay, so the next one was really fun. I actually got my cousin to help me film this one. So recently I've been filming a few ASMR videos in my marketing channels and it attracted the sub that literally just wanted me to crush cardboard boxes with my feet. Again, I'll add a little video next to me of me crushing up said cardboard boxes. I think I probably crushed crushed up about 5 or 6 cardboard boxes, little egg cartons and bigger boxes. And he just wanted me crushing these boxes with my feet for 4 minutes. And then in the second part of the video, the last 2 minutes, he wanted my feet directly in the camera, like you see here, and just ripping up junk mail. He just really liked the sound of the paper being ripped while the money makers were there, you know, in plain view. So yeah, that was a nice $600 for a 6-minute video. Okay, my next one. This is something that a lot of people are actually into in my niche. And I can't believe I didn't mention this in my last video. So I've definitely done like a 3-minute, 5-minute video of this before, but I can't remember like when it was, how much I charged. But this is something that quite a lot of people are into. And that is armpit worship. A lot of people in my niche are really into worshipping armpits. So literally these videos, I don't want to like give away free content, but I'd literally just hold my arm up and just stroke my armpit and be like, oh yeah, they're so smooth and so nice, go on, worship them, you little beater. Literally for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I've done this a number of times, to be fair, because yeah, like it is actually quite a common fetish, armpits. Moving on. So this sub actually requested 2 customs off me, and they were both like very similar. So each time it was a 5-minute video, and this was like literally 2 years ago, so I can't remember specifically. I could probably go back and find like the specific details, but it was around $400, $500 per video. Both videos were 5 minutes long, and he definitely was really into like the office vibe. Like a lot of like men that like GFE creators, girlfriend experience, a lot of men are into the whole like office vibe, secretary. But obviously we're in Findom here, so it was not that kind of vibe he was wanting. He was wanting me to act out that I was his hot boss office worker, and he was one of my employees, and he was the only male on the team in the office. And the first custom went along the lines of, he had this admin job, he wasn't working very well, and I needed to bring him into the office for a disciplinary. And I was just telling him, you know, he wasn't up to scratch, he wasn't doing his job well, and he was pathetic, and he was actually quite a bit of a loser. And then this disciplinary ended up in me demoting him to a position even lower than what he's in now. And his only job going on from there was to just be humiliated by myself and all my female co-workers. So I literally just had to like act this out. I did not take GCSE drama in school, so you really have to find it in you to like act these things out, like these fantasies these men have. But yeah, so that was the first custom. And then the second custom, again, it was very similar, but it was just me kind of telling him again, like, you're not good enough for this role, you're not good enough for this job, I've already demoted you once because you were so terrible, and now you're in this other position and you can't even hold up what you're supposed to be doing here. So his punishment was, throughout the day, myself and all my female co-workers had to spit in a glass throughout the day, just collecting this glass of spit that had his name on. Can't remember his name now, this was like 2 years ago. And his task at the end of the day was to drink that glass. He just wanted me to communicate this verbally, like I didn't hold a glass with his name on it or anything like that. And yes, to him, these 2 5-minute videos are worth $1,000 for him. So in part 1, I did speak about a bug guy before. I've had another bug guy come along since. Very similar to the first bug guy, like he wanted me to pretend that he was a bug, and he wanted me to threatened to squish him. So I just put my camera at a low angle, and I had my foot like waving in front of the camera, and I was like, if you finish, if you do your business, then I'm going to squish you. So again, that was like the denying him to finish his business, which again is another very big fetish in my niche. This amazing bit of content again was 6 minutes long, and it was $600. Moving on. Again, this happened about a year ago, and it's probably the most money that I've made in the least amount of time on a live. So when I go on lives, they can be so good or like really slow. That's why sometimes I'm not always consistent with my lives. For example, I could go on a live for an hour and I could make like $20, or I could go on a live for an hour another day and make like 500. It really is pot luck, and it's so hit and miss. So this is why like I do struggle to bring myself myself to do it, because sometimes I'll do it and I'll be like, like that was kind of like a waste of time. But sometimes I can go on and I can be like, I'm so glad I've done that because I've literally just made like $500 in an hour. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a year ago when I had my most success at a live. So I was only on this live for like 45 minutes, and then I had this sub came in that started tipping like a small amount of money, $10, $20, I don't know, little bits of consistent money. So I took a bit of notice to him. You know, you've tipped a few times, it's got my attention. So I said to him, I was like, oh yeah, look, I'm such a goddess. Look at this perfect body. I'm so hot. You would never get a goddess like me in a million years. And then he said, yes, goddess, you are very hot and your body's very nice, but I can't lie, like, I don't care. All I care about is your feet. So I'm like, okay, suits me. So I took this same iPad that I've got here and I put it on the floor and I waved my feet around in the camera and I just snapped and said, go on, send your hard-earned cash to my toes, to my toenails, to my heels, to myself, whatever. And in about 5 minutes, I'd literally drained him of $850. Literally only in 5 minutes. That is definitely the most money I've ever made in 5 minutes. So it's not typical, but I've definitely made like $500 in 5 minutes or $400 in 10 minutes. It can happen quite frequently on a live, but that one was definitely the most money I've ever earned in 5 minutes, which was great. On a live, of course, my customs can range anything from like 200, 500, 800, 1,000. I actually sold 2 customs yesterday. Yeah, let me talk about them actually. So one custom that I did yesterday, I sold for $925 and it was only 5 minutes and all I did was wear a black dress. He was actually quite specific with what he wanted, which isn't the norm. Like usually they don't really care what you wear, but he wanted me in a black dress and he wanted me in black tights, and then he just wanted me dangling my Louboutin off my foot. I'll put a little clip here. So I literally filmed this yesterday, like I say, and it was only 5 minutes long and yeah, $925. Sweet. So let's talk about the other custom that I did yesterday. So this one was $1,000. And to be honest, this was nothing out of the ordinary. It was actually 11 minutes that he wanted, but he just wanted degrading the whole of the 11 minutes. It was an SPH. So throughout the whole custom, he just wanted reminded of how unfortunately sized he was. So yeah, nothing out the ordinary, that one. It's just because I literally did it yesterday and it was for a very decent amount of money, so I thought that I'd share that one with you. So for my final custom, I'm going to talk about this one that I got. This was in March this year, so only a couple months ago, and this guy was heavily into Findom. He just wanted me to call him my little pay piggy throughout, and he wanted me to pretend that I was being entertained by an alpha male. So to film this one, I had to kind of pretend that I was with like my boyfriend, my alpha, and he was going to just like watch and be a little fly on the wall while me and alpha were on like a little at-home date. So this kind of incorporated the ignore fetish as well, which yeah, a lot of subs are into. So I literally had to just prop my camera up and then like face sideways. I just pretended to have a conversation with my alpha and pretend to be like touching him and stroking him and ignoring my little pay piggy that was just a fly on the wall. And yeah, that went on for 5 minutes and he paid $500. And extra info here, he wanted me to call him a little toilet paper slave. I don't know, you know, whatever makes money, whatever pays the bills. Oh yeah, he was also into chastity as well. So he wanted me to lock his little member up in a cage and he wanted me to wear my necklace that has a key on it. So chastity is something that I don't think I've ever spoke about on this channel. So again, a lot of men have this fetish to have their little member locked away in a chastity cage, and subs like to pay doms to keep their key, like be a key holder. So I actually have a necklace with a load of keys on, and they are all the subs whose keys I hold. So yeah, that's again like a massive fetish. So bless him, he was just locked away, little fly on the wall, peering in on mine and Alpha's date while we were just like totally ignoring him. Oh, I'm just missing out all the details. And during this date, he wanted to lick the sweat off my feet. Poetic. Anyway, I think that's enough for you guys for today. Go and digest that info. I don't know. One thing that I think is really good is, even though I've been in this space for 2 years, I've heard and seen a lot of weird stuff. I've still not normalized it. Like, I don't think I ever want to get to a point where I do normalize this, but it is what it is. Like, they're grown men, they're grown adults spending their adult money however they want to. And if they're not giving me the money, they're just going to be giving somebody else their money. So let's have a little recap of my financials actually. Of course, I do sell a course teaching other girls how to do this. And I do want to be very transparent with my earnings, because I know like a lot of course sellers get this bad rep. Oh yeah, you make more money from selling the course than you actually do doing the job. Like, no, I don't. Like, my course is £299 and I've got 105 members or something in the community. So you do the math on that and you'll know exactly how much I've made just from doing my course. And I launched it in August 2025. And then this year, I'll put all the financials here. January, I had a banging month. I made like 60,000. But then every month since, I've kind of been floating around the 30K mark. I don't know why. I feel like I've been working as hard as ever, but this is just entrepreneurship for you. And this is a good point that I want to make actually. You know, during March, I believe I had such a good month because I had 2 whales. Whales are great. They're an amazing cash injection, but for financial stability, it's not actually great. Let's say, for example, that you were a Domme that was making $5,000 a month, but let's say $3,000 of that was all from the same sub, like the same whale every single month. As soon as that whale decides I'm not going to do this anymore, or they're interested in another Domme, they're going to leave and they're going to take that money with them. So if you have any high spenders, great, but just don't let them be the majority of your income. Because if you're making $5,000, but 3,000 of that is coming from the same person, they leave today and then next month you're only making $2,000. So this is why I always say, like, whales are great, but just don't get too attached to them. Medium and small spenders really can be where it's at sometimes, because I would say there is more of them. So they do make your income more sustainable. So anyway, guys, on that note, I'm going to finish this video for today. But I've really missed doing this. I've really missed doing YouTube. I've been on so many trips abroad recently and I've been vlogging them, but oh my gosh, the editing and uploading process really does just kill me sometimes. So hopefully I might get them uploaded soon. Of course, as always, guys, if you are interested in doing what I do and you want to get involved, the link to join my course is below. That is the Rich Girl Guide community. And I'm actually starting something really exciting from the Tuesday coming up, which is the 30th of June. I am starting to do bi-weekly group Zoom calls. So this is called the Rich Girl Roundtable. And this is every 2 weeks on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. And basically me and my students from Rich Girl Guide will hop on the Zoom call and we'll spend an hour just catching up, having a chat. I'll be answering some questions. Anything that I have come across that's working really well for me, I'm going to share it on the Zoom call. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I announced it a week ago in the community and the girls are really excited. So if you have thought about joining, definitely get joining before that first Zoom call on the 30th of June. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for joining and I will see you again soon.